For 15 years, DJ Bob has been your go-to source for pop culture, past and present. We eat, sleep, and breathe pop culture, just like you. He's interviewed countless fascinating people, from well-known names to everyday heroes.
DJ Bob connects with his guests on a personal level, exploring their stories, passions, and challenges.
He's not just interviewing, he's building a community of like-minded, inspiring, driven, and talented individuals.
Join DJ Bob as he delves into the world of entertainment and the conversations that matter on all levels. This is the DJ Bob Show. Roll it.
It's the new Zoo Revue coming right at you, and Doug and Emmy Jo are here with us on the DJ Bob Show. We talk with them about the legacy of the show, why the show is still relevant, and its impact decades later, among other things. Matt and I had a wonderful time with these two, and we hope you love them as much as we did. Enjoy. So, we've got quite the packed house. Matt Bingel here.
How you doing, folks?
I have to say, I've told several people of my mother's generation and beyond that these two were going to be here. Some of the folks behind the New Year Review. How are you guys?
We're fine, thank you.
We're really blessed, I'll tell you that. We're having so much fun with our Facebook page that our daughter put up. I mean, just past 100,000 followers. I mean, we're just living the dream.
So, let's start there, because when did you realize that this show was important to people? Were there moments here and there, but the Facebook really solidified it for you?
It was the Facebook, honestly. We really had no idea, because for like 50 years, we were doing other things and had no idea. And then when our daughter Joanna decided that we should have a Facebook page, that's when people started coming forward and telling their stories. And it really, honestly, it's very humbling, and it means so much to know that our show touched little children, and it made a difference in their lives. Some of our New Zoo kids grew up in very, very happy families, and they just remember having their cereal and watching New Zoo Revue.
Yeah.
And then we have other stories where our New Zoo kids were not in happy homes, they were not in good environments, and that our show gave them courage and helped them to, get through that period of time and develop good ideals and morals that would help them to lead productive lives now. So it's very, very rewarding to talk to our New Zoo kids.
Yeah,
we love them all.
Yeah, we forgot all of. I was doing a production with my company, and apart from New Zoo, we had kind of forgotten about the show. And then all of a sudden, this resurgence happened, and we just can't believe it. I mean, that people actually remember the episodes, the songs they listen to, and I'm now doing like a song a week. I'm trying to relearn how to play the guitar and relive the compositions that I did 50 years ago. That's a challenge, but it's so much fun because we're finding out that the songs and the messages still resonate with people even today.
And we just love our New Zoo kids. I didn't realize how affectionate we would feel toward those children. They're now grown up and in their 50s and 60s. Yeah. I feel like I want to give every single one of them a hug.
Okay.
And we have I even have a newsletter now that it's just a way of staying in touch, and they can send things to contribute to the newsletter if they want, and just we like being in touch with them. We're excited that we can get out to see them.
Yeah. especially when we do personal appearances.
Oh,
We're gonna keep.
that must be like another level because you're actually connecting with the faces and, getting to hug them and kind of
Yes.
have these intimate moments. Because it's different when you're watching through a screen or it's not, they can say thank you. And
That's
honestly,
exactly right.
and honestly, I we did an interview earlier today where we interviewed he's like a well-known playwright and an actor, and I said, well, you're not our only interview today. We're talking to the folks from Zoo Revue, and he literally lost his.
He did. He lost his
Seriously?
mind. Yes.
Really?
And it was
He was so excited that we were talking to you.
his mouth
So that was unplanned, right? That was just
Yeah, completely unplanned.
his mouth was like wide open, and we were just like, oh my God. No,
Right?
because honestly, I have been a connoisseur of children's media for the longest time. I just feel like there's a need for it beyond watching it when you're young because there's so much thought, there's so much care, there's so much other stuff going on than what people think of children's media is. So even though I didn't necessarily grow up with it when it aired, there were tons of video releases and DVDs and you know merchandise and all these things that it's still in my DNA. So I'm an honorary New Zoo kid.
Well,
Yeah.
you're an adopted Nuzu kid.
yeah, we'll take you.
So
Well, you know,
it's
I'm glad that you know how much time and thought went into these. We didn't know it's going to have that effect on kids, but I never wanted to, when I wrote the songs and wrote the episodes, I didn't want to talk down to kids. I wanted to kind of be on their uh, level where they were and, tell them how to relate to their mom and dad and brother, sister, friends. And so ours was an emotional relationship show. And
Definitely.
we took time to construct it as a musical for kids, basically.
oh
And
my
we,
and that when you put it in numbers, 600 songs,
yeah,
that's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane.
He writes all the time.
I still write.
He's
Yeah.
still writing.
Yeah, but it just kind of came naturally because I wanted to have a show on Broadway, a musical show, but the kids show was as close as I got, and I'll take it because, each song furthered the plot where you got to know the characters a little better, and I got to really just have a great time, in the studio and on the sound stage, with doing a musical for kids.
And you were influenced by a lot of composers from musical theater that you grew up
Oh,
listening
yes. I
to.
mean, Leonard Bernstein and Stephen Sondheim, those guys, Rodgers and Hammerstein. I mean, all of those great composers and lyricists, I listened to them all the time, growing up in high school and college. And then to be able to do that musical for kids was just a really, really
And
wonderful thing.
you never ever ever talk down to the audience like you
Nope.
said.
We tried
And
not to.
and it's so important to me because as an individual with, physical disabilities and having challenges myself, there's a great deal of episodes here that focus on accepting others with differences. And people try to do what you guys did 50 plus years ago, but the way it was handled with such care, and I honestly wish that people in these creative spaces use your show as kind of a blueprint on how to do it.
Well, thank you.
Thank
That's
you. That
very
means
kind
that
of
means a lot to us.
you to say that. It's very,
Yes.
very kind because that's that's how we felt and we continue to feel. Children are little people and should be talked to in an appropriate way as little people.
Well,
And
you've
all of
often
us,
said that their minds are like a computer,
yeah.
and you're inputting everything, and whatever we input stays there.
Yeah.
And so it's got to be positive, it's got to be uplifting, and it's got to be accepting to all people.
You know, every children's television show, some of them have a curriculum, like the ABCs and 1, 2, 3 for Sesame Street or
Yeah.
the Electric Company or anything that has come on after. But I felt like your show is more about the social emotional, like how we deal with problems and dealing with them in a step-by-step way.
And how we treat each other with kindness and respect.
Yeah.
That was big part of all of Doug's work was just let's treat everyone respectfully and tenderly and spread kindness.
Well, really, like we would like to be treated. I mean, that
Golden rule.
the old golden rule still applies. And I think that's why even now some of the songs that I wrote resonate with people even today. And we find that grandparents are now turning their grandchildren on to our show, and it's having a really big resurgence. And I'm just happy about that because that kind of influence, I think, is needed maybe more than ever now.
For sure. And truthfully, that's what I've been doing with this podcast for over 15 years is letting people know that even though, there's a disability here, that I'm just a guy that loves having conversations with people and connecting with people and talking about things that matter. And it just so happens that there's a disability there. And if I can educate somebody, at least for 1 second, then I've done my job. And that's what you guys do too.
Well, I agree with you. I think that's so important. I think all of us, my mother used to say this to me when I was a little girl. She'd say, Emily Jo, you try to see everybody the way God sees them. It's not necessarily the way we see them, but we are all children of God and we all have gifts of different kinds. And He has a plan and He has a purpose. If we're alive, there's something we're supposed to be doing. And you're doing exactly what you should be doing and making, I think, a tremendous contribution. I just think it's wonderful.
Yeah,
what
you're
you do.
making a great difference, especially as you're speaking to and about people with disabilities. It's I don't even think that they're disabilities. I mean, in my mind, they're a different gift, and you're showing that with every podcast.
I mean, because it's just like, because there are so many people in all lines of work that when they hear, different voices, they try to segment them into their own group. No, it's like we should all be together and learn from each other. And I feel like as I was watching Zoo Revue earlier and leading up to this, I just felt so at home with you all. And I felt like I was a part of the crew because, Matt and I, when I reached out initially, now I was going through my old emails and I had this list that I wrote in 2011 of people that I wanted to talk to. We were in like our second year of the show, and you guys were there because I knew that I just wanted to have this conversation about, acceptance and inclusion and all of these things that you all handled so, so well.
Well, with the characters in our little show, they all had, you know, different personality differences, and that's kind of, I think, why kids identified with it because they knew a person like Charlie who was bragging all the time and who, just didn't stop talking about himself and was knew everything. And then, people knew somebody like that. And then with Freddie the Frog, he was our little kid who sometimes was wiser than us. So everybody, I wanted all those characters to contribute to the greater good and to the knowledge of our human condition. I don't want to sound, preachy or anything like that, but that's really what we wanted to do. And Henrietta, well, she was just fun, but she was a good cook.
And everybody needs a good cook. Everybody needs.
Yes, you sure do.
So, Matt, is there anything that you'd like to ask? Is there anything that's on your mind?
I do have a fun question, actually. Who back then and now would you have wanted to collaborate or work with Zoo Revue? And in turn, who would you want to work with or collaborate now?
Well, boy, that's a good question.
That's you.
Well, to be honest, we were very fortunate when Emmy Jo was pregnant with Joanna. We had a lot of guest stars on on our show, and they really actually contributed to making the show popular because they were popular in their own right. So I feel like I got to coordinate and collaborate with those people that were the guest stars, But back then, I would have loved to have met Mr. Rogers and done a show with him. I mean,
Oh yeah.
that would have been great. And
I mean, you were talking about those Broadway composers. Like, what if you got to work with Sondheim on a song or something like that?
Well, and even now, I would love to work with, we really were blessed with, I don't know if you know this, but we have a songbook of my songs that's now out there.
Oh, yeah.
And it was put together by a Broadway conductor.
He just happened to be a Zoo kid.
Yeah, no, but he grew up with our show, and he said, "You got to have a songbook. I love your song." And this guy is on Broadway now, directing and being a musical director. His name is Brett Sawyer, and he put together this whole songbook, the first one, and it was just wonderful. I mean, just to hear him play the songs, and we even did a Saturday
sing along with
him where he accompanied me on a song I wrote, and that was thrilling. So to your point, I'm getting to collaborate with.
And I'm real proud of Doug because he's working on 2 new shows that he's developing.
Yeah.
With our kids, with our son, and we're excited about those. Why don't you tell them a little bit about what?
Well, the one is called Knights of IT, Guardians of the Digital Realm.
This is very
and
good.
it's about how to be safely online, but it kind of has the format of New Zoo where, there's some villains and there's some good guys, and we want to teach kids how to navigate the internet safely.
We all need that. Yeah, we all need that for our kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's one show, and then the other one it is called Safari Town, and it's totally animated, and it kind of has the same vibe as New Zoo, but that's going to be a totally animated show. So we're still, trying to get things on and going to be out there for this generation.
I love that, and I love how, these ideas that you've expressed, whether it be New Zoo or your new stuff, it's not ideas that you typically see in a children's context. Even the idea of big feelings. Yes, Sesame Street deals with it now, but back then, like, everything was kind of swept under the rug or, kind of like downplayed. No, you put it out there right front and center.
Right.
Well, I think we need to do that now.
Well, we support it. We definitely do support it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Where are you all?
I'm
Are
in
you
New York.
California?
I'm
Oh,
in New
you're in New
York.
York.
And I'm in Baltimore.
Okay.
Oh, so you're back east. I lived in New York. Are you in Manhattan?
I'm in the Long Island area, so like an hour
Oh,
out for
I'm
an
not
hour.
really familiar with that, but when I
Okay.
was much, much younger, before New Zoo, I spent 3 years in New York because I was attending the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. It was one of the greatest experiences of my life. I just loved the city.
Yeah.
I loved
You
the
know,
museums and the
I've
culture and the
I've
cultures.
I
And
live in New York, but I've never been to the city ever.
you've never been to the city? Well, I don't know. There was a lot of traffic then. You might not want to go now. There might be more
Well,
traffic.
I'm worried about that and whether or not I can get my wheelchair to and from because cra you would think these places are accessible, but they are lacking in that area.
Yeah, a lot of them aren't. A lot of them aren't.
Can I tell you a story about something that happened to me?
Sure.
What?
Of
This has
course, of
been
course.
quite a few years ago, but I had surgery on my foot and I had to be in a wheelchair. And I don't remember where I was, but I wanted to go into the restroom. And so I wheeled myself up. I couldn't open the door. And I thankfully a lady came and she opened the door for me. But I had the same problem when I was ready to come out. I couldn't get out of the chair, so I couldn't open the door. And that experience made me very, very sensitive to other people in wheelchairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've had this since birth, and I think it's easier said than done for people to just assume that every place is accessible. It's not.
Just things like having ramps for people so they don't have to go
Oh
off the
my,
curb.
yeah. I mean, we could do a whole New Zoo Review episode about that if you ever brought
Yes,
it
we
back.
could.
You
But like,
know,
Well, you can be sure that my new show, both shows will touch on these subjects for sure.
if you ever need my help with anything, you know where to go.
Thank you.
yeah, Long Island.
Because
Well, we're looking forward to the end of October. We're gonna be in New Jersey at the Comic-Con, the
Chiller.
the Chiller
oh,
event.
that's a crazy show. I've heard about that, but
We've never been to
We've
Chiller,
never done it.
but we're doing it this year.
I would love to if I could make it out. I'd love to see you. We
Yeah,
could.
If you
we
can,
would
we would
love we
love to
would love
see
to
you
meet you in
too. You
person. We
bet.
really would.
So I want to bring this question out there. Like, what does inclusivity mean to you within your work?
Exclusivity,
Like inclusivity and
Inclusive,
inclusive.
being
Well,
inclusive.
from my perspective, it's all about my faith and the example that Christ set for us. And it's just like I said earlier, all of us are brothers and sisters of God. I mean, and God doesn't see the same differences we do. We're not to, like the Bible's very clear that we are not to judge other people. We're supposed to love other people, love God and love our neighbor as ourselves. And so I guess that's my definition is that we don't want to look at the differences. We want to just look at each other as part of the family of God. And
yeah.
Well, there really are no differences. I mean, we're all, you know,
That
fallen.
and everybody has a story to share. Like
oh, yes, they do.
And
I think that just to be open and honest, I never used to talk about my disability on this podcast. But once I started to, it created a dialogue and a conversation that most of my talent or most of the people that I've spoken to wouldn't otherwise think of this conversation to have. So if I can open up somebody's mind for at least a thought or two, then I've done everything I can.
I think
It's very
that's
very needed
and I think he's
because like you said earlier, in the past, it's kind of been swept under the carpet. I mean, it was
Yeah,
like,
right.
don't talk about that.
and you said something that was so wise. Every everybody has a story to tell, and but we can't see it because sometimes we wear masks, and you could be talking to somebody and you don't know what they're going through inside. They could be grieving, they could be that's another thing that my mother, bless her heart, when I was growing up, used to tell me when I would come home and complain about a teacher at school. And she'd say, Emily Jo, you don't know what's going on in that teacher's life. You don't know what kind of a home she's going back to or what her problems are. All you know about her is what you see in the classroom. And that
Yeah.
was a good lesson for me.
And that's a hard concept for, you would think that would be innate in a lot of people, but it's not.
Because it's hard for most people to put themselves in the shoes of others. And that's a hard concept for a lot of people to grasp, you know. You don't know what it's like. And we really don't, but we certainly can empathize and have respect and feeling for what people are going through.
I'm sorry if we got kind of philosophical there. I just feel like it's
That's
important.
okay.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
It's important.
Love it. We love it. Doug and I like to visit, so
So one of the questions that I've been thinking about is, are there any celebrities that have reached out to you or that you've met that were surprisingly huge fans of the show that you've encountered over the years?
I can tell a story that I've told before, and that is I was directing a lot of commercials in Las Vegas, believe it or not. When we weren't really involved with New Zoo anymore. I had a production company in Las Vegas, and we would be doing commercials. And I got a chance to direct the Pointer Sisters. You know, that was a
Oh
musical
my
group.
God. Yeah.
And
Wow.
I, everybody was telling me you're not going to get anything from them. They won't even give you the time of day. And I said, well, all I wanted to do was say, come to Las Vegas. And so I went on stage with them, and somebody must have told them that I was Doug on Zoo Revue. Well, they started singing the theme song in three-part harmony.
Oh
Wow.
On stage. So, needless to say, I got a good performance out of them. So, that's,
that's a great memory.
yeah, that's a great memory. And there was
That-
a lot of memories like that.
But especially at Comic-Con now, it must be even more gratifying to know that you've enriched these people and you see them as nurses and doctors and all these wonderful things that
That's
you
right.
could because when you're doing this show, essentially you're in a vacuum. You're doing the show and you kind of forget about it and on to the next thing. But now that you're in this world where Comic-Con are thing and social media thing, you're getting a first-hand account of the impact that you've made.
Oh my goodness, you're so right. It is so rewarding to see every how these little kids are making contributions to their families, contributions to their communities. We've got, well, Mike, the chemistry teacher, who we met at the San Diego Comic-Con, and he's a chemistry teacher out there in the Los Angeles area, I think. And I feel like we've really become friends with him over our Facebook page.
Well, friends with a lot of people.
Yeah,
like that.
and then we've got, my goodness, we've got not just teachers, but we've got lawyers, we've got some policemen, we've got firemen, we've got doctors, we've got nurses. Every profession, I think, is represented.
Well, I was in the dentist chair actually getting an operation, and I thought the guy was going to drop his tools when he found out that we were on New Zoo Revue.
Oh,
So I had to give him an autographed picture, but he did a good job.
But isn't that amazing? And
yeah.
you're absolutely
Yes.
right. It is so fun
Yeah.
to find out what these little children grew up to do. And they sometimes bring their, well, now a lot of them are bringing their grandchildren, but it's great to meet their families and give them a hug.
Because you're right about, when you're working with the camera, you don't have that audience feedback.
Mhm.
Emily and I grew up doing live theater,
Yeah.
and so we were, talking to the back of the house and waiting for applause and laughter. And well, when you're looking at a camera, you don't get that.
And we really didn't have an opportunity to interact with those children.
No.
Doug did more than me
I-
because he did do personal appearances, but we didn't know we got letters from them. We didn't know that they were trying to reach us.
Yeah, well,
Do
the
you-
producers sheltered us
Yeah.
too
Do
much.
you know what happened a couple of years ago? Tell them about that box that we got.
Well, yeah, there was a couple that found a box of New Zoo memorabilia that was in some garage
It was a
sale.
garage sale.
And it was just, pictures and actually hundreds of letters from kids that we never saw. And so we just opened that up and we almost were crying. It was so meaningful.
It was so thoughtful.
We just wish that we would have had that back in the day.
He could have kept the letters.
Yeah. Imagine if that box was completely discarded and you
Yeah,
did
he
not
sent them
Right.
to us so that we could read them. We never knew.
Incredible.
Amazing. Doug, I was thinking the same thing with live theater and television. You don't get that live feedback through television. It takes
No,
months. Sometimes maybe about a year, some shows.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's the relationships that are important, I think, that you
Oh, yeah.
develop with we're developing
Yeah.
through Facebook and Instagram and going out on personal appearances.
And now I feel like we're friends, because of this.
Yes,
Yeah.
we certainly are. Yes, we are.
It's great.
And I hope you can get down to the Chiller Convention.
I'm gonna try. I'm really gonna try. I the I a thought that I had about New You specifically is like they were so I mean our world is so consumed with media now. Like there are so many places to get things. But what do you think set New You apart when there was when there were things like Sesame Street and there were things like Captain Kangaroo and other things like that? What do you think really set it apart?
Well, going back to relating to the kids, I think the kids got it. I think that they wanted to see resolution to problems, and that was a big deal. So when Freddie, lied or didn't want to go to school because he got bad grades, I mean, I think kids like, oh, that's me. So and so when that resolved by, hey, give it another try, go to your teacher, and get back to school. So I think that it was those relationship problems and solutions that really resonated with the kids.
Mhm.
And it's so interesting now. Like I think about if people with disabilities were ever a thought when you were working on this show. Like was it as I mean, I know it wasn't as common, but was it ever a thought to bring up that idea of seeing different abilities?
Well, it would have been more had we had the sensibility that we have now. I mean, I think the whole culture has grown in that way, in a positive way, to accept everybody. And that would have been a big deal back then. And Emily and I did do a lot of appearances at different hospitals.
Oh wow.
And back in
Mm.
the day, I just remember uh, in LA going to that one where there were people with all kinds of
Oh,
disabilities, and
yeah.
it was heartbreaking. But
Now,
we
how
were
do you? Because obviously, you're you're playing a version of yourself.
Hmm.
But how do you, when you're in that setting, how do you kind of harness the emotion? Because you might be seeing something that you don't want to see.
That you don't want to see?
Meaning, like, the child is in such a difficult situation, and how do you keep up that positive energy when you're in such a you're in a hospital. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
well, I again, it's not looking down or treating that person any differently, and I think that's what people are looking for. I don't care what you're going through. If you
No,
don't
I'm
want
saying
to,
for
you don't want to
you,
go, you don't
for
want to look
you.
down and say, "Oh, poor you."
No, no,
No,
I'm not. No, I'm saying like, but for you,
How do we control our
yeah,
emotions?
yeah. Like
Hmm.
Well,
you're,
sometimes it's hard
yeah,
because
like
in this particular hospital, I don't know if you remember, there were children that their mothers had taken a very bad drug when they were pregnant and called thalidomide. And these children were had some real difficulties. And oh my goodness,
missing limbs isn't.
yeah, it was very hard. But you just have to look beyond that and not let your emotions get in. One thing that's helped us, we have a nephew who is autistic, very
My
autistic.
sister's kid.
Yeah. And as we've watched him grow up and really realize what a gift he is to our family, you know, there have been some very difficult times with him because he's unable sometimes to control his emotions. But he's a gift. He's like, how old is Shane now? 35, almost 40, probably.
And he is actually, ministered to the family,
And
not
so,
not the other way around,
yeah, and so you're right about that. For a lot of people, it's being around people that have challenges and difficulties and being sensitized and realize they're no different than I am.
yeah. And I love that, and I think because I have, I've talked with a lot of people in this line of work where I know people. I know the guy that was in the suit for Barney the dinosaur, and he had to go into children's hospitals in burn units, and the children are singing their songs, even though they're in X amount of pain.
Yes.
It's it's a powerful tool that you guys brought to the world.
Thank you. Well,
Mhm.
the power of music and the power of television is really amazing, and it can be good used for good, but it could
It's
also be
really
used
it's,
for.
it's really the power of storytelling. That's
Yes,
all
it
it
is.
is.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's special. So obviously we've been having a lot of fun here. We've been having this great conversation, but I have to ask the hard-hitting question because I always ask hard-hitting questions on this show. And
Good.
so, if you were to be roommates with any character in the new Zoo Revue universe, who would be your roommate and why?
Hey, mine's easy. Henrietta.
I could see that.
I can see
I
that.
want to be with Henrietta.
Well, I don't know if I could choose between Freddie and Charlie because Charlie was, that know-it-all, and I think I would go with Charlie because I like to talk people out of doing things that are not good for them. So,
We did. we did a live event. It's somewhere on Facebook in the kitchen, in our kitchen right here.
Oh, I saw that.
I saw
With
that too.
Henrietta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in my newsletter now, I've got a little one of the pages is, what does it say? In the kitchen with Henrietta.
Yeah, recipes.
Recipes.
Yeah.
And I just think she had the great, didn't she have such a good sense of humor?
Yes.
Yes, she did.
She was Halloween, almost always happy. And when she got mad, she got over it.
Well, I love that answer, and I would honestly say my roommate would be Freddy the Frog.
I think mine
Yeah, I
would be
can
too.
see that.
That's my second.
Who wouldn't want to be with Freddie?
Now, this is a question that I've been kind of a little bit on the fence to ask because people ask you all the time, probably, what is your favorite episode? But I'm going to turn it on its head. And I'm going to ask you this. If New Zoo Revue was wiped out from all of existence, and you could only choose one episode to put in a time capsule that encapsulates the entire series.
No, it's a hard one.
No,
I'm going to leave that one to Doug.
well, no,
I couldn't pick.
in fact, I just, the song this week that's going to be up on YouTube is called Let Kindness. And I would choose the show on kindness because in that episode, that kind of embodies everything that we're talking about. And the plot was such that, of course, Charlie was very upset with everybody and yelling at everybody and not being kind. And then it ended where Freddie was discriminated against because he was not a speckled frog. He was just a light green, solid color frog. And so they didn't want him to play tennis at their exclusive club. So we told him, hey, that's not the way we treat people. And so I wrote a song called Let Kindness. Let kindness be the bridge that takes us across. Let kindness be, uh, the way, our way today. So anyway, that would be mine.
I was just watching that one, and I agree with you. It's such a poignant message and a powerful message.
Mhm.
So, what have you guys got going on? I mean, you've got conventions and you've got Facebook. Where can people find out everything that you're doing?
Well, we've got a really great website, thenewzooreview.com, and there are links in that website that takes you to Spotify and iTunes, where you can listen to songs from the New Zoo and also my other music. And that's a great place to also has a link to YouTube, where we've got shorts there. We've got all kinds of episodes there, and also on that website is our links to Prime Ticket, where I got like 21 episodes there, which I was thrilled to recolor and remaster, and also put closed caption to them. That's been a great joy for me. So,
And we've got links to my newsletter
oh yeah,
and to our store.
Emmy Jo's newsletter, and we've got a really great store that has all kinds of
Pictures.
T-shirts and
Everybody
pictures.
wants pictures.
We'd love to autograph pictures for people.
I'd love a New Zoo Review hat.
Yes, it has hats. We have hats.
Oh, I gotta get one.
He loves hats. He has a ton.
I have a huge hat rack of just different. Yeah, so if you got a hat, I'll be getting one. I love that. But thank you both so much for joining us today. This was wonderful.
It really was.
Thank you. We have really, really enjoyed it. I
Yeah.
have to say, this is one of our favorite interviews.
Yes, I would say that.
Oh, thank you.
That means the world to us.
It
So
really does.
I think Matt is Marty available?
Yes, he is. You're putting me on the spot again, Bob.
But they need to meet you. Come on.
Okay. Okay, if you want me to come out, I will. I was legit not prepared for this. So
I'm sorry. That's what I do.
yeah, you're used to it. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Love that.
I think Marty would make a good would make a good cameo appearance if you brought New You back.
Yeah.
You
I can see
look
that.
strangely familiar, like a little
Really?
character on the show called Nor. I don't know if you
Really?
remember him. He used to make comments in between scenes.
Wow. Wow. That's a first. I've never been through that before. I've been through to other things, but not that. That is a first, and I will take it. I'm very honored about that.
Yeah, I think you'd be best buds with Freddy Frog if
I
I.
think so. I think
Yeah.
I never asked
I
that.
think you'd be
I
best
would
friends. Absolutely.
I think I'd be best friends with Freddy the Frog as well.
I love that.
But seriously, thank you so much for joining us today. This was great. Can we all
You're
take a
so,
can we all
thank
take a
you.
can we all take a quick picture before we wrap up?
Why don't we
Yes.
do that? I'll let you
I'll
guys
do
do
it. I'll do
We'll
it.
let you do that.
All right, fine. You can get back in the shot.
Get in the
Dad.
shot.
All right. Even though I had my 15 seconds of fame, you can come out. You know you're not supposed to be in the shot, but
I love it.
I'm allowing you to. Thank you.
Oh, that's wonderful.
He's been puppeteering for the last 5 years, and it's just been
Where do you want us to look? At you?
Yeah.
Sure.
Look at you. We're gonna look at you.
Perfect. Sounds good. Thank you guys so much.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Thank you.
Have a great afternoon.
You as
We
well.
we should definitely keep in touch. I don't have your information, but I know how to.
Danny's got everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you in touch with Danny?
Yeah, I am.
Danny's got everything.
He's got it all.
So I'll reach out to him and then we'll get it going. But
Okay.
Sounds great.
Hopefully, we'll see you in New Jersey. That
oh
would
my
be
God, that'd be
wonderful.
great.
And
Thank you.
bring him if you can come.
Yeah,
bring
you gotta
him.
go too.
I also, I'd be more than happy to come if I'm able to. Yeah, we'd love to come and meet you. That'd be wonderful.
That's not that far, is it? From
I
Baltimore?
don't think so. It's a couple hours, but it's a couple hours from here. But I'm sure we'd be able to make the trip. I hope.
Well, thank you both so much and
Come.
Thank you.
have a
Have a great afternoon.
have a great weekend.
Bye.
Bye.